Hey, it's Manny Wolverine here, aka Mr. Random Pop Culture News Freak here. You guys know the rest of the intros on towards the channel. Follow me on my other social medias and at AOL symbols down below. Anyways, yeah. I've been wanting to do this for almost a month. For a whole gosh dang freaking month. But before I get to this, Bird Keeper Toby, it's the end of it, man. I remember old school fools like freaking Jimmy Wetzel, Tamashi Aroka, freaking Arcanine Fan 95, Jay Witz, freaking old school JYT gamer, fools in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I didn't grow up it essentially, but I were the pioneers. Even Glitchcheck City, even though she doesn't really do that much Pokemon stuff anymore. Fools I was growing up with after I got out of college, university, and I still have my 2 jobs here in Vegas, and I only got 1 now. When I was working in both the hotel casinos and not just one. Even when I was still known as Criticism Guy 2009, Nintendo Freak, Sony Freak 2011, Nintendo Freak 2011, and Random Pop Culture News Freak now. And now I'm like Critical Guy Rosation Man, now I'm Critical Undivided Attention. Critical Man. It's pretty wild, but end of an era. But before I get to this, I'm going to do this on a separate video. It's a little bit of a separate, what's it called here? This one was pretty funny. Twitch streamer. Oh, yeah. This one is sad, man. I'm probably going to do this one in a separate video, so stay tuned in the future for this. Twitch streamer. Unfortunately, this chick, I don't know what happened to her. I don't know why it's not working, but... yeah. Twitch streamer pays modifier to let him sniff her underwear. That's disgusting, bro. That'll be in a separate video, but I'm not going to dishonor my dude Bird Keeper Toby like that. This is an absolute legend. He quit January 1st, 2024. He's no longer a Pokemon YouTuber. He said he's never come back to YouTube ever again. I wanted to give him a salute. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's get it in.
Hey, Pokemon Masters. Bird Keeper Toby here, and welcome to my first segment, Pokemon Theories.
So
hey, Pokemon...
He was such a young little boy. Young little man, because he's like, what, 27, 28 now? So in 2014 or 15 when he started, when I was 25, 26. So he must have been like 17 or 18 at that time, bro. He was still a teenager.
Bird Keeper...
Pretty wild epic stuff, honestly. Sorry I had to get the closed caption out of the way, I forgot.
Toby here. Hey, Pokemon Masters. Bird Keeper Toby here. Hey, Pokemon Masters. Bird Keeper Toby here.
I remember all of that. I remember all of that,
26th of December, 2014 is when I started
one
my...
of the greatest fucking Pokemon YouTuber, freaking PokeTuber / Legend of Zelda channels of all time, man. He did his research and analysis like an archaeologist and a fossil stone fucking Jurassic Park person and studies paleontology of dinosaurs. That's how deep dive this dude Toby used to go into.
YouTube channel. Now, 9 years later, it's time to take a break, possibly a permanent break. I don't know what the future will be, and I have to treat this as a goodbye because I don't know, it may genuinely be. I set out to do a YouTube channel to Bird Keeper Toby. The moment I had the idea, it made so much sense. Of course I should do this. I should talk about my passion, Pokemon.
His transformation was so freaking huge. I don't know if he got a lot of YouTube, Google money, or Patreon money support to fix himself up a little bit. Not freaking accusing him getting plastic surgery or Botox. He can do what he wants. He's a grown man now. But he's going to be 30 by the time I'm 37. It's wild. I can see why he's quitting YouTube. Maybe he want to do adult stuff. Not Prawn or The Hub or any of the adult, not safe for work, adult filming, entertainment stuff with EX and not safe for work shit. But like other adult serious stuff like psychology maybe. Stuff like maybe Jordan B. Peterson or Ben Shapiro stuff. Maybe he wanted to talk about stuff in politics. Hey. More power to him, but that's just not for me. You know, I get it. I mean, I know most of his audience were young little kids, and maybe teenagers in middle school, high school, maybe someone in community college, who knows?
A franchise that I love more than I think anyone else loves Pokemon. That's how I felt back then. Times have changed, and I feel like the project has been a success. I'm happy with everything I've made. I wanted to make this a place to explore Pokemon lore and Pokemon theories and my love of a franchise, but now time has moved on. I'm nearly 30, and I want to explore more of the world. I might be back permanently in the future. I might be back in little dribs and drabs. I may do compilation videos next year of some of my best and worst videos from...
So he's not completely quitting YouTube. He said he might come back this year in 2024, all right.
Last 9 years. I'm excited for this change, and I'm happy to kind of put Bird Keeper Toby to rest. So to do that now with this video, and this may or may not be the last video, I may have one more little surprise waiting for you in the next couple of days. And to wrap up the year, and to wrap up this near a decade of doing Bird Keeper Toby, I want to just look back through the history of the channel. Whether you were someone who joined at the very beginning or someone who's joined recently, let's look back together at some of the kind of big moments of Bird Keeper Toby. I'm Toby. Hi, Bird Keeper Toby. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. Okay, I've written it down all here.
I miss it a lot too, man. I've been watching this video for literally since 9.5, 10 years, damn near a decade on the dude's channel. He's always had some real cool shit on there. One or two things I disagree with him on, having certain people and certain like personality and their background and little flamboyancy I disagreed with. But other than that, the other 9% I always agreed with him. Except for like getting the bag and the coin. Yeah, that shit was annoying as fuck when he had to do that freaking dumbass freaking advertising sponsorship. I get it, because YouTube was his full-time career, his full-time job. I don't know what other net he's going to do. Because I remember when he had his backup channel, Homeby Hill, that channel, I remember for a freaking fact he had a lot of psychological, mental, like, sadly, disorder problems. And I'm not a psychologist or therapist to say that. That's what he's had in his backup channel. He said he got depressed and sad a lot. And I don't know, I think he said he had, like, a background in, like, Broadway acting performance. I don't know, maybe he's going to come to the United States and be a Broadway performer in New York City. Or maybe here in Vegas, who knows? Or LA, I don't know. I think he had that in writing. So maybe if he wants to be in Hollywood or something, good luck to him on that. That's probably the only two things he's probably got as a backup. Other than that, he's probably going to be screwed if YouTube was the only thing he was doing, in my opinion.
I don't want it to now just sound like I'm rattling off a list, but it may do a little bit. So let's start. 2014, the channel only existed for about a week because, again, it was December 26th. I'd had the idea. I remember having the idea just before going to a party. I was watching my best friend Falcone stream Hearthstone, his favorite game, and I thought, man, I'd love to make videos about my favorite video game. The ideas merged together, and of course, I had to do it. Bird Keeper Toby, named after Bird Keeper Toby in the Johto region. He is just
I forgot it was named after NPC in Gold and Silver, and then later on Heart Gold Soul Silver, the remake.
Northeast of Olivine City. There's also a Bird Keeper Theo in the Olivine Lighthouse. Theo is my brother's name, and this is why I remembered it. My brother and I used to play Pokemon together at the top of the stairs when we were kids, outside of our bedrooms when we were supposed to be in bed. We'd meet up in the hallway, get our games out, get out the link cable. I would play Yellow, he would play Silver.
He had a big brother. And he said he wanted to be sports and fishing. He wanted to be an esports, extreme sports dude or whatever. I get it, though. They want to hide their stuff from the IRL family and friends and cousins that they don't know that they do YouTube as a social media platform as a career job. Totally relate to that one.
And I always remembered Bird Keeper Toby and Bird Keeper Theo, and that's where Bird Keeper Toby came from. I chose the name because I wanted my name, Toby, to be part of the channel, so that you could feel like over the years, like you got to know me. And while I do think I've managed to be kind of, pretty much myself on the channel, I'll admit that
parasocial relation. This is the only cool parasocial relation I thought was cool.
Bird Keeper Toby has always sort of been like a facet. I've kept my private life relatively private and that kind of thing. Right. But I've never felt inorganic, in who I've been presenting. I just want to be more of myself now in what I do in my full-time job. So whatever that'll be in the future, I don't know. Anyway, Bird Keeper Toby. 2015 was the first year, and it's the only year in the whole history of the channel where there has not been a new Pokemon game. There was lots of talks about Pokemon X and Y2, Pokemon Z version, Pokemon XZ and YZ. I remember first seeing the little Zygarde blob and thinking, is that a Duskull pre-evolution? I launched the channel with like 5 videos at once. The Bird Keeper Toby Wants to Battle Challenge, which I did every single year as a way of getting to know the community and the community getting to know me. My Crystal Onyx Pokemon Theory, of course. My top 10 favorite Kanto Pokemon, the beginning of a new series for the channel. A little introduction to me and just who I was and what the deal was, and also a TCG video. TCG would struggle to find a home here on the channel. Eventually, I would make Card Keeper Toby a spin-off channel.
That makes sense. The TCG, I used to do it a bunch. And money-wise, that shit adds up. Big time. Tremendously. Tumultuously. For a bigger, mega sense of the word. Arguing for, tumultuously, that shit is very, very expensive. You know, you got a whole bunch of apps and stuff nowadays to make cards cheaper. They're like $7, $8 at freaking Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart. The packs itself, just one pack, is $7, $8. That is fucking crazy. I remember back in the days, in late 2010s, it was $2, maybe $4. Now it's freaking almost $8. That's the price of 2 big, giant freaking Frank's Red Hot Sauce. That's not sponsored by Frank's Red Hot Sauce or Trappy's or Stubbs Barbecue, but that's ridiculous. But sadness of the shrinking inflation economy, I'm going to get into politics. 1,000 subscribers and make card videos for the better part of 2 to 3 years. In that first year, I had a couple big videos. I remember working on this video to do with Regice, inspired by Vsauce's This Pokemon Will Kill You. And it was about how Regice would kill you by freezing you because its temperature is so ridiculously low. Vsauce 3, Jake Rober, has been a huge inspiration to this channel. And actually, later on in my YouTube career, one of my videos got noticed by him on Twitter. He watched it and complimented me, and that meant just the world to me. Obviously, Hey Pokemon Masters comes from Hey Vsauce, something I'll try not to so candidly rip off in the future. I had a wonderful time around Halloween. I didn't know he tried to rip off Vsauce like that. I forgot all about that dude. Never was subscribed to his channel, but I always heard about him a little bit here and there. I was like on the outside looking in from Vsauce. He was just way back in 08. Like I think the last 2-3 months when I was in high school. That's how long as fuck Vsauce was on YouTube. I don't even know if he's still around. Even if he has 3-5 million subscribers, people are going to forget about you. Because a lot of these Gen Zer kids and even Gen Alpha, most of them are going to be on TikTok, Discord, and Twitch. They're not going to be nowhere near YouTube anymore. because they'll give zero fricks about YouTube, sadly. So a lot of people might even see him as irrelevant. Me, I remember he was as big as the other two big dudes nowadays, like Phil DeFranco, and then another dude like Boogie2988. And then the older iPhone chick way back in the day was I.Justine. Now she's probably doing a whole bunch of stuff, but she's a corporate industry plant still, unfortunately.
In the first year of the channel, where I made a video about Lavender Town and Lavender Town syndrome and if it could really happen. That video is no longer publicly available because at the time, you know, different mindset towards YouTube. I had taken a little bit of somebody else's content and put that in the video without really asking them for permission. It was an animation, just like a little bit of visual something. It wasn't the core of the content, but I didn't feel good about the fact that I'd never asked them for that permission, and so it remains unlisted at the moment. Maybe I'll get permission for that in the future, and you'll see it in a compilation video. Halloween did kind of become a staple every year, with me trying to hit a cool Halloween video every single year. In my first year, there were a couple big theories. There was Who is Valerie, which is a theory that is just wrong. It does not make sense for the Pokemon canon anymore, and maybe didn't really for the time. There was a video on Amore shipping, which is the relationship between Ash Ketchum and Serena in the animated series. I didn't really cover the Pokemon anime. I didn't really care about Amore shipping.
The shit from X and Y, and then right before Sun and Moon came out. Oh my god. That makes me feel old as fuck seeing that, man.
Had an interesting take to do with like the original Pokemon movie and the original writer's intent. If they were doing a romance for Ash Ketchum, would it mean the end of his journey? It didn't. The theory was wrong, but it was the first video of mine to get, I think, over 100,000 views. It was my first blow-up video, which, by the way, I never really had on this channel. I have, to this day, never had a 1 million view video over 9 years. I've always had a very steady and consistent YouTube career, and I've actually been very grateful for that. Not blowing up into the spotlight anywhere, but just kind of plodding along, doing my thing, doing well enough to make it a career. Yeah, I've been really happy with the level of success that this channel has achieved. In my first year, I did like 22, 23 collaborations with other YouTubers. Other YouTubers saw my content and went, yeah, you know what? We kind of like what you're doing. These have been
30. You only had 23 or 25? Wow, okay.
Long-term friends, and some that, you know, were long-term friends, but we just haven't spoken in a while. You know, these include huge channels. Game Boy.
I remember two of them. Loxanagan and True Green 7 were the first two fools I remember he introduced me to when he was doing the whole collabs. And then Hoops and Hip Hop. Only three I'm sub to besides Toby still nowadays is Hoops and Hip Hop and Gator GX. That's it. I don't know nobody else besides those two after that are Pokemon YouTube content creators. Maybe there's some that are starting now. I'm never going to be familiar with ever because I'm steering away way more from that and doing a lot more extra adulting, serious topic stuff on my backup channel and my kick stuff now.
Kudlin's Crafty, PD Win, Ace Trainer Liam, MJTB.
Oh, I forgot about that dude. PD Wendell and Ace Trainer Liam, bro. That is a throwback. Bro, I was like, what? Either 26, 27, 28. I was a grown fucking adult, mature man, but some people were probably in normies would probably go, oh, you're a man-child or whatever. I didn't give a fucking shit at the fucking time. I was a lot more extra angry and pissed off in my mid-late 20s. Way more than my teen years. Thank God I didn't end up going to prison and jail because I would have been locked up behind bars doing some crazy shit. If it wasn't for this dude calming me down mentally. Oh, Hoodlum Scrapped. I think he became Hoodlum Callum later.
True Green 7, like, and the names go...
Yeah, True Green 7, yeah.
On and on and on and on and on. I got to meet so many incredible, wonderful people, and in the first year... Oh, I got to collaborate with my mum a bunch in a series called Mums Don't Understand Pokemon, where I would tell them about Pokemon.
Yeah, he had her in 2 videos a long time ago, bro. Oh, God. 26, 27-year-old me and almost 35 now. 7, 8 years ago. This is icon. This is an old school fossil. He brought his own freaking mother onto his YouTube channel. There's no way in a billion years I'd ever do that in a quadrillion. Any other lifetime I'd ever do that. He had balls of steel to do that.
And she wouldn't understand, bless. I am a cruel, cruel son. 32,000 subscribers.
And not to get too private or parasocial relationship with you guys either, but only two that my freaking mom knows is Jigglypuff and Pikachu. That's it.
In the first year. Absolutely huge. Absolutely incredible. It was the sign that I could do this. I really could make YouTube a career. In 2016, we saw the My Pokemon Gym series start. I entered a competition with YouTube called YouTube Next Up, and I was one of the recipients. I was one of the winners. I got to go to the
YouTube Red at the time. God. Bringing up
YouTube space in London for a week where they taught me some things that I already knew and some things that I didn't about cameras and lighting and the YouTube algorithm and advice about Patreon. I started a Patreon, and over the years, I think like 600 people individually over the course of the years have supported this channel here via the Patreon. The Patreon allowed me to hire editors and GFX artists to get more videos out to you. It was a real step up for the channel, and that backbone to the channel has meant the absolute world. For those of you who don't know as well, next year, while I'm not uploading, the Patreon will be paused. If I am to come back in the future, I will let the Patrons know before I turn the Patreon Patreon back on. I was also wrapping up university in 2016. 2016 was a kind of just personally very difficult year. There was a lot going on behind the scenes, but we plodded on through, including the end of university, and my final university project was Evolution 101, a video that has become one of the most popular on the channel, explaining the basics of just how evolution works, but using Pokemon as a proxy for it. I didn't know it was this
college university freaking project. What? Let's go, Toby, man.
This idea of Squirtle and Lapras and Tirtouga as a fossil, you know, with some beautiful animation. I got to work with an animator again, thanks to the Patreons. And this all came together in a way where it would start a spark that, of course, later would evolve into the whole Evolution Tree series, which became, of course, a poster.
Yeah, he started doing that once every year for Christmas, bro. The Tree of Evolution for the Pokemon franchise series. It had nothing to do with Game Freak or Nintendo. If it was, it would have shut his channel down a long time ago. Thank God they didn't. Nintendo had mercy on them for that, or Game Freak did. Mainly Creatures on.
Updated poster and an updated poster, which again just further supported the channel and allowed for this to be a career. That idea was so much fun. And of course, in 2016, we saw Sun and Moon, my first Pokemon games here on YouTube. And I'm going to admit,
I still have one or two. I think 3 of them I privated because I didn't like how they turned out years later, because I was doing a lot more of a shuffle of how much more cringeworthy my reactions were back then. 2015 to 2018. I had the worst cringe reaction. That's why half of 2018 to 2020, I didn't do no reaction till like 2021 after that. That's the reason why I had to do it.
In retrospect, I don't love playing the games. I love the world of Alola. I love the
Some might be on list. If any of you guys want to see in the comment section down below which one you want me to link to the description, I'll give them to you. Depends. Some of them I wasn't very proud of.
One that we got to see and catch there. I love the idea of Ultra Beast and what it did for the Pokemon lore. Sun and Moon was a really fun time for the channel. It was new and fresh for me. There was nothing formulaic about it because it was the first time for me here on YouTube doing an Alola week where I got to cover a new video every single day about the Alola region. And when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out the following year, I got to do it all over again. Of course, covering the releases of Sun and Moon and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in 2017 was me, PD Winnell, H-Trainer, Liam, Candy, Eevee, and Cerebi.net across 2 seasons of the Elite Four podcast, which I know was a jumping on point for many. Thank you to everyone who kind of came in from that podcast. I love it. It's a cherished memory for me. Of course, I got to meet Joe Merrick, who runs Cerebi.net, a site I had used all throughout my sort of childhood and time playing Pokemon. I remember the first time I met Joe, I sort of, when he came up to me and I thought he was a viewer because I didn't know what he looked like, and he said to me, "Hey, you know, Toby, nice to meet you." And I sort of went, "Hey, you want a picture kind of thing?" And then he was like, "I'm Joe, I run Cerebi." I was like, "Oh no, I'm a fan of you. That's how that works." You know, and this is what an incredible experience. We got to do like a Q&A here on the channel, and yeah, it was a big milestone for me.
I was a fan of Joe Merrick, that's why.
Fan. I still think that my version of the Poke-Earth is better than his, but we'll argue about that on Discord. Speaking of the sort of big milestones as a YouTuber, I got to go to my first event, Summer in the City, which was an event I had gone to as a fan, run by my friend Tom. He also managed to get me to kind of meet the people at Pokemon for the first time ever, which was I'm still hugely grateful for. I will actually be going to MegaCon, which is kind of the spiritual successor of Summer in the City, in January next year. So if you do want to meet me as a retired Pokemon YouTuber, you certainly can do so there. I'll leave links to that event in the description. And yeah, I got to meet Pokemon for the first time. As a Pokemon fan, that was huge to kind of get to meet the people behind the curtain, behind the franchise, to hear their advice and what they like about working with people and what they don't and that kind of thing. That was at the XY Evolutions launch party for the TCG set. And actually, over the years, over 9 years, I've got a list on my phone. I have either been gifted experiences by Pokemon or done sponsored deals with Pokemon and their associated kind of brand partners.
Yeah, I remember the brand deal and logoing and all that. That part annoyed the fuck out of me, but it is what it is. There's a million other YouTube channels after 2016, especially when the whole YouTube freaking apocalypse happened. A lot of people, they turned either Coffee, Patreon, and PayPal like a mother effer. That annoyed the hell out of me, but understand this was their full-time careers. They had to do it. So no hatred towards them on that.
That's Original Stitch or Pokemon Masters or that kind of thing. Nearly, I think it's like 99 or 100 times. To do that over a 9-year career as a Pokemon fan, I'm incredibly blessed. And I won't go into all of those different things, but there were a couple, obviously, that were huge standouts, including the Pokemon Tour Bus for the Galar region. That was in 2019 or 20. And of course, getting to play Let's Go Pikachu early and upload that to the channel. At the time, it was my most popular video with 800,000 views. Of course, nowadays...
Time flies so goddamn fast when you have a good-ass fun time on video games and anime, bro.
Most popular video is the Tree of Evolution complete video, which I think, yeah, stands around a similar number. Oh, I also forgot to mention in my first year of the channel, I met Veronica Taylor, the original voice actress for Ash Ketchum. She is just such a lovely, bubbly personality. She's got a podcast that she does with her daughter Rena that I'd really recommend you go listen to, called Trainer's Guide. They're recapping the sort of original series of Pokemon. And Veronica, very kindly, after I bawled my eyes out, realizing there's no one I'd rather meet than Ash Ketchum, did a little voice clip, which you've heard at the end of many of my videos over the years. I ended that second year, 2016, with 130,000 subscribers and got my silver play button. Thank you. This was you. This was your doing. It means the world. It was at this time when I was meeting people at events that they would most commonly say that they knew me from Loxton's channel, from his massive "This is the end" Pokemon theory. Loxton has always been
Austin Lockwood, Loxton. I remember I did a video of him way back in the day. I don't know if I privated and listed it or if it's out to the public. I don't know.
A friend to me and a mentor in this community. And actually, when we first worked together,
my personal opinion, I think he's probably an atheist from Mount Theus because he believes a shit ton on a lot of science, theologies, and astrologies and mythologies. Some of that shit I disagree with him a lot. That's why I unsubbed his channel like in 2019. I unsubscribed him, so I don't know what he's doing now.
I was the person as the Pokemon host on his channel before he was a Pokemon channel officially, which of course now he is. So hopefully I've had a positive influence on him. Yeah, I'm taking credit. I did these sort of over the course of 2016 and 17, I do these rebrands where I just kind of take a little break for a couple of weeks, realizing that I was really just working on the channel a lot, and I would do new banners and icons and intros and outros and that kind of thing. Just kind of try and keep things fresh, and I try and keep them fresh with the turn of the latest things coming out. So for Virtual Console Johto, Gold Silver Crystal, it was all about Ho-Oh. I got to work with Game Tea on some fan posters, which are sadly no longer available. They were so cool. I love the Game Tea company. I have an affiliate link for them, which again, I'll leave in the description. If you want to get anything for anyone as a present, I would recommend Game Tea, especially if you're in the UK, but I think they ship worldwide. Of course, in the first couple of years, we had the launch of my original merch, which is now available for the very last time. Again, links in the description. At the end of the year, it's gone forever. And the rise and birth of Team Snooze, my evil team that so many of you signed up for.
I forgot he made some fanfiction Tumblr, Twitter, Reddit, 4chan fanfiction thing of Team Snooze, bro. That one at me cracked me up laughing every time he did those videos, bro. Not laughing at him, laughing with them.
Form to kind of become part of this idea of an evil team that just kind of wants to lay about and keep it chill and sleep.
Hilarious.
There's a whole roleplay over on the Discord. Roleplay as Team Snooze members. Again, link to the Discord. Everything will be linked in the description. I started an impromptu augmented reality game, leaving coded messages in the comments and descriptions of a number of videos around Halloween. Thank you to everybody who took part in that. That was really fun. Accompanying Team Snooze, there was Bird Keeper Toby, a joke Instagram account of me sleeping at events because I can sleep anywhere. A special solo run of Pokemon Platinum with a barrel called Miyamoto, the monster.
Those anime Pokemon conventions, dude. That's funny.
Barrel that took on Platinum version all on its own. Later on, we did the same thing in Pokemon Black and White. It was Black to a White, I'm not sure. With Rolo, the Lillipup that became, of course, a Stoutland. The solo Rolo run. We tried a lot of different times of streaming on YouTube, on Twitch. I never really found a way that streaming would work for me over the years. I tried a lot of different variations. Heck, who knows? Maybe that's something that will be a thing in the future. I just can't say at this point. And of course, in 2018, the launch of the Tree of Evolution series, which has kind of become the foundational backbone of the channel. It was one of the last videos that I got to shoot at the YouTube space.
2015 is 2018 when he started changing hairdo and stopped using the nerdy glasses and he started using contacts. I see.
In London. The YouTube space in London did close, unfortunately, in 2019, 2020, but it was always a place where they would have these sets and they would have access to cool equipment, and as a resource for someone like me to go in and get to use that technology to make my videos really stand out, it really excited me. If they had for example, they had a bar as a set, I would have to think of a video to do with a bar because I wanted to use the set. And of course, one time they had the set of the recently released Blade Runner movie in there as a collaboration with Sony, and they said...
They had a freaking Blade Runner? They used to do the same thing in Japan. They do that over there in London, UK, too? What? Those are all just fake stage sets? Wow. I did the GX artwork. I know all that stuff and the graphics and all that and the CGI computer stuff. They probably had a whole team with that. He had to probably thank a lot of his team for that.
I could borrow the set for a couple hours one day when no one was using it. And so I went in with my friend Mike Dean, who I filmed a lot of my big videos with. And we made one of my favorite videos on the whole channel, all about the Ultra Beasts. I'll leave a link to that as well in the description. It is one of the best videos that I made. Just the production quality is wonderful. Thank you, Mike, for working with me. I remember he took these little hologram Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 freaking maps up. He used to go, pew, pew, pew.
That shit was fucking awesome. Epic as fuck. I used to love that every Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. He did that every year. It was freaking badass. I'm going to miss the hell out of him, Toby, for doing that. And there's probably other channels that do that, but it's just not Pokemon related. And I was doing that stuff before we had sets, when I was at university, me and Falcone, we made for our special effects unit, we did our Pokemon movie, what if Pokemon were real video. This was free detective. That's the one I was talking about. It looks outdated now, this part right here. But dude, that shit was the freaking bee's knees. That was my freaking jam. I loved the way he did those badass, awesome HD CGI hologram graphics. That was freaking amazing. That was a slap, a knee, a bop hit. the freaking drip, as I guess Gen Z calls it.
Pikachu, obviously, and I think we did a better job of it. I did keep on updating the year of release on the title, like, to always be the next year. So, who knows, maybe 2024 it'll finally come out. I traveled out to the west coast of America for the first time and filmed videos while traveling called Let's Go Explore, and they were so much fun. I then, almost as soon as I arrived back, took part in this Facebook London Lab program where I got to go to Facebook for a month and just work in their kind of offices. And while they were teaching us largely about Instagram and Facebook content, I filmed a nice comedy skit for YouTube. One of my funniest videos, for sure, even if it was a little bit ripped off of an old Rooster Teeth short. Working on those videos, or as I would come to call them.
He went to freaking Meta, no, he's called Facebook at the time. He went to the Meta Studio Networks in Silicon Valley, Cali? Or is it the one in the UK? I don't know. That's
Pokemon epics, like the one with the old Chateau and the one
I was not aware of that.
These videos really were the thing that made me feel that my channel was special, and that I
Unless
lived
he said
for
that to a lot of his Patreon supporters, I probably would have known that years ago. I don't know.
Thrived for, but sadly they became harder and harder to produce after the YouTube space closed because I just didn't have access to the sets. I did find a way in 2020. I think I did one with the Reggies, all about the Reggies, in a barrow nearby. But you know, the videos became harder to just produce as I had access to less stuff, which is fine. I was becoming more of a regular YouTuber.
Yeah, because the lockdowns and the pandemic and scandemic in 2020, 2021, and half of 2022. That was affecting a shitload of people. Luckily, my mental and psychological, spiritual, emotional level of health was really, really good at that time. Thank God, because I wouldn't be here talking to you guys. I'd be in a grave 8 feet deep somewhere after I unalived myself. Thank God I never did.
Covering the news, that kind of thing, with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then of course in 2019 Pokemon Sword and Shield, based on my own home region. Oh my god, super exciting. So I feel
for the fucking trees and that whole Dexit thing. Oh lord,
I'm pontificating a lot, if that's the word. Pokemon Sword and Shield, based on my home country. I mean, that was really exciting. I was so happy to see the Galar region come through. Like I say, the Pokemon bus thing that I got to do was pretty special. But I think it was around that time that I was beginning to feel
Galar was all based on London, England, British culture. He must have been super hyped about that. They ever do one for Mexico, Puerto Rico, or freaking upstate New York City? That'd be cool. They kind of did it in New York City for Black, White 1 and 2, so they kind of did it a little bit, but not that much. It didn't fluctuate the same way, because there was no references to Harlem. I wish there was.
Perhaps it was getting a little bit formulaic, and I was very much repeating the same content that I had been making year after year. I was looking for a way to kind of keep things fresh, and I knew that I wanted to see the Gen 4 remakes. It was the Gen 3 remakes that inspired me to start the channel, so I knew I was going to wait for them. And the very next year, of course, there was DLC, so I'll try and push through the DLC. Then, of course, a pandemic happened, which meant we were all locked inside, and so I felt an obligation to keep...
Oh, man. That's probably going to get my channel freaking... The info wiki thing happened.
YouTube, and I think
that's what happened. Everything got freaking completely reversed on its head. Its head was standing on its freaking ass when the scandemic, pandemic thing happened.
Ruined the channel for myself a little bit, where I just made work my escape from reality completely. It was around that time.
Escapism from reality, that's really good. That's a very important thing, especially mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Copperfeet, previously known as the Last Shaman, moved in and started living with me, and she has now, of course, started her YouTube channel and her YouTube journey. More on that later. And so at least I was in good company. But I think this is where the fun of YouTube started to drain a little bit, as it really became a full-time job. That wasn't to say I was having no fun. It's just where it started to become difficult. And through the DLCs, you know, they were kind of exciting, but they were not what we knew was coming next, which was a Gen 4 remake, surely. And sure enough, we got not one, but 2 Sinnoh games. BDSP wasn't so exciting in the end, but Legend...
Oh, yeah. That was the last good game they made in 2022. Was no bugs at all, or glitches, or exploit. There was 1 or 2 tiny little bugs where you could go into, like, an old room. It was supposed to be, like, from their modern-day Sinnoh, but that was it. Everything else was clean cut. Legends Arceus, if they ever do it like that for the Black White remakes, or they just do a full-on modern-day remake without the stupid-ass fucking chibi crowd, because if they do that again, swear to freaking God, game freaking creatures thing. I'm not playing another Pokemon game again if they do the chibi art style again. I'm done with that crap if they do that. I hope they don't do that for Black and White. I'm praying they don't.
Arceus, which is so my wheelhouse. The lore of the Pokemon world, the ancient histories, new Hisuian forms.
That was awesome. The Sinnohian forms and the variant forms were cool as frick. Just kiss on that.
This is one of my favorite Pokemon games ever. It may be my favorite. It's certainly up there in the top sort of 3 to 5 range. And I just absolutely adore the game and everything they did with that. Even if they announce a Legends game next year, I probably won't come back to cover it, at least during the launch cycle of it, because I want to enjoy the game. I just want to, like, play it and enjoy it and not look at trailers every 5 seconds. I think that's really needed for me if Bird Keeper Toby or if this YouTube channel has any future. I don't know, but yeah, I just want to go off and enjoy the game. Well, I tried to do about a charity event every single year. It was actually it was the year of the Crown Tundra. The Falconian IT teamed up, and with the combined powers of our online audiences and a week of streaming, we managed to raise $10,000 for cancer research. Thank you so much to anyone who contributed to that. It really means a lot. Started doing a hidden Easter eggs and secret series, which is kind of something that's always interested me and got me into YouTube in the first place. Did a lot of brand sponsors. Thank you to everyone who was like just cool with me doing brand sponsors. Meant a lot, and again, just allowed me to kind of make the job into something a lot more successful. So thank you. It allowed me to not worry, basically. It allowed me to pay editors and just like keep on like paying for cool ideas and working with community members and artists, and not worrying and stressing too much if there was a bad month. So yeah, I moved into this house with Falcone and the Lost Shaman in 2021. I'm not. Yeah, whatever the year that between BDFP and Legends Arceus was a very
2021 is we moved in with that dude. I never really knew who he was. I think he was like an esports player or PC building game dude, like Linus Tech Tip. So I didn't really give a shit who the fuck Falcone was. I only cared about Toby and his girlfriend Shaman, last Shaman.
Full-time double game release, but I moved in, did the Legends game, and it's been amazing to kind of have my own space to make content from in the way that I want, whenever, without worrying about keeping my parents awake or anything like that, and to be living with friends, and to be living with Phoebe is lovely, and to I've been living with Falcone, obviously he's moved out now, was amazing as well, and obviously we've got our friend Jake, we've now got another friend, I won't name because I don't know if she wants to be named, but we've got another friend that we're living with, and yeah, things are going well, and we're beginning to look up, because it was kind of like that post-pandemic-y era. Plus, I really found that I just hit my stride with the Legends videos. There were a bunch of theories around that time I was just really proud of and really happy with what I was making. It was this year and in the new house that Falcone and I started Content House, in this actually very room. I also did the Carmine podcast with True Green 7. That went to some unexpectedly deep places. Additionally, I started my personal journey in therapy, a journey that has ultimately led me to this point where I'm ready.
That's what I was talking about. He had a lot of therapy, mental, psychological issues and problems he wanted to talk about. He did on his backup channel. I remember that. Remember that very well. Leave
the channel behind and move on to the next steps, but don't think of it as a negative. This is definitely for the best. Positive. I also tried doing the Odd Couple of Legend of Zelda video.
I've never seen this doing a live look at my boy Toby.
They didn't do terribly on Bird Keeper Toby, but they didn't do bad either. And it really gave me the hope that maybe when the new Tears of the Kingdom would come out, I should do something about that. And sure enough, about 2 weeks before Tears of the Kingdom came out, of course being this year, 2023, I decided I was going to make a Zelda channel, and I was just going to be honest about labeling it. Like, this was not going to be profound Zelda theories that would share with you the deep secrets of the world. This was going to be kind of fun, goofy, absurd Zelda theories, and so that's what the channel is. I haven't uploaded there like much since Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of did a couple of videos around that time. They did very well. We hit over 10,000 subscribers, 13,000 subscribers. The channel hit monetization. I could make money potentially doing that, but I don't want to burn it out. I don't want to do what I've done with this channel. Instead, I'm just going to enjoy it for 1 month a year. I'm really into Zelda. Maybe that'll be how I do it. And maybe that's how I'll do this channel in the future once I've had a break. Again, I just don't know. And of course, over this last 2 years, we had the launch of Scarlet and Violet and Scarlet and Violet's DLC. It felt a little bit soon for me, and honestly, the games left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. There was a lot to like in there, sure.
I feel like I got rushed really fast after Legends Arceus. Like, bro, we just had another main series game. I guess that counts as a spin-off, or does Game Freak Creatures even being a fucking goddamn crash grab, sadly.
There's also just a lot that I didn't like. And I realized that my full-time job was making videos about a franchise that I was falling out of love with. This idea that no one loved
way
Pokemon.
More worse than Brilliant Diamond Shine Pearl, even though there was a lot of glitch problems with that.
More than me. It just wasn't something...
They fixed them a lot faster compared to Scarlet
that
Violet.
I believed in anymore. It wasn't something I felt. And I felt that I was just doing it because it's my job. By late 2022, I felt like pretty sure that maybe the end was coming up. But I decided to see out 2023. I wanted to be sure. I wanted to be certain. Additionally, I had a brand relationship going on that I was contractually obliged to, which is allowing me to take this break and has allowed me to kind of work on making some of the best videos I could, including videos where I've literally visited Japan and New York to explore the areas that inspired, like, many of the Japan areas, like, not actually Kitakami, but like Kitakami adjacent. And then, of course, Unova, which is so well-timed because of the Indigo Disc, which was just a nice, happy accident. I got to revisit some of my favorite videos and favorite theories, especially over the last months. And then about 6-7 months ago, I made the decision that, yes, this was the last year. I was tired. I don't want to drag this channel to a place where I don't like making videos anymore. I want this project, this Bird Keeper Toby project, with its over 250,000
totally spiritually, mentally, emotionally understandable. That could be draining. I could see where he's coming from.
Subscribers, with its near 1,000 videos across the channel history, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what it said in my video dashboard a little while ago. That across all of this, that it's been a success, and it has. I'm really happy with how the Bird Keeper Toby project has gone, how this time of my life has gone. But it's also been a good percentage, like 95% of my life has gone into this over the last 9 years. Oh, wow. I need to find out who Toby is underneath Bird Keeper. I need to work out who he is and what he wants. I'm now taking a little bit of a break. I'm going to be 30 in April. And everything I do over the next year is really in service of my 31-year-old self. That might be coming back to YouTube and doing Bird Keeper Toby, or rebranding and doing some other Pokemon YouTube thing. It might be doing absurd Zelda theories. It might be going off into the world of acting, maybe, if I'm lucky. It might be doing some creative writing.
Yep, I knew it. I called he's going to be a Hollywood writer, scripter, screen producer, or freaking acting if he's lucky. That's a big if he's lucky on that. But he's probably going to have to do a sell soul blood contract thing, unfortunately. My personal opinion.
Maybe just making D&D campaigns. Maybe making D&D content. It might be streaming. It might be VTubing. I don't know. I have no idea.
Bro, he might actually end up being a male VTuber. He'd be really good at it. I would watch him as a VTuber. He'd probably have a whole other different name, different persona, and like, hopefully doesn't date friends. Oh my gosh, kawaii desu. Oh my god. Like, emo mio, Nico. I really hope he doesn't freaking do that shit. I hope not. He stays like a real dude. I mean, if he's going to do acting, doing a British posh accent, Australian or fake American accent or Canadian accent, that'd be funny. Or unless he does something else. But that's on him if he wants to be a virtual male VTuber. That's a shit ton of a competition. Best of luck. Giving him the salute for that. It's a big space. I watch a shit ton of female VTuber chick. That shit is very hard to get into sometimes.
The idea. Bird Keeper Toby is not just a YouTube channel, it's also a mindset of work that I've been doing since the very beginning, because when I started this YouTube channel, a job as a YouTuber was not a sure thing. I felt I had a lot to prove, and in order to do that, I needed to work very, very hard. Every minute of every day became a thing to do on the to-do list, and has been for the last 9 years. I really struggled to switch off. And so, I'm jumping into the unknown. I'm jumping into the abyss, and it's gonna be uncomfortable for me. But I'm excited for it as well. I'm excited to discover what's kind of underneath all of this and go on my own personal journey. And I'm sure if you follow me on all my various social medias, which are linked in the description, of course, you'll find out what's happening for me next. However, maybe you're sad. Bird Keeper Toby's over. This YouTube channel, this time of life, it's done. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little heartbroken and shattered, but I see mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and probably financially, he's got to take a long-ass break forever. Freaking military air jet just passed by. I'm not sure if you guys heard that in the camera. That was loud as fuck. I thought a freaking piece of an engine was going to fall near my roof. Thank God it didn't. But anyways, it's way up there. I know you guys can't see it. Jesus, thoughts, views, and opinions. I'll get to that in a minute, man. I'm a little soul crushed, but I understand if he ends up getting married to the last shaman, has a wife and kids, he's not going to be able to do this as a YouTube job anymore. I get it. I see that aspect. Why he's leaving YouTube forever.
Well, look. If you want more Pokemon YouTube, there are so many wonderful Pokemon YouTubers out there that you can and should subscribe to. There are, of course, the previously mentioned, Candy, VH Trainer Liam, PD Winner, True Green 7, MJTB Pokevids, and there's also, Pokemon Theory channel.
I didn't really give a shit about him. He was way more for the elementary, middle school kids, maybe high school kids, MJTB. I'm not getting into I'll get a mega huge rant on that dude. That dude's a scumbag POS motherfuckers. Fuck him. He's garbage in my opinion.
That I watch, and I'm gonna forget people if I just try listing them off
my
my head.
boy Toby, he's awesome.
But we've got Lumia's Post and Dusty Go-Go and Soul Silver. I guess he doesn't really do YouTube. There's Hybrid Hero and Kayla's Capsule and SB Juju.
Yeah,
and
I forgot about that other one, Hybrid Hero. I'm surprised he's still around. I remember him in 2012, 2013. I think a year and a half after I graduated university for my computer engineering degree. That's wild. He's still around. Lumio's trainer, bro. And the Kayla's Capsule, I remember her last year. I forgot about that chick.
Captain Fidget, there's Game Boy Luke, Virtually Marty, Umbreon Libra, Skater X, Emperor Cubone, Panthers, Pragmatic, Hoops and Hip Hop, Lockston, Wolfie VGC. I'm telling you, Wolfie's videos are actually incredible. I'm not even a competitive Pokemon person. This guy's raising the stakes.
I see two other old school, competitive people like that was Movlin 12 or 19. He's gone now. Rykard, I remember him being a competitive dude, and I'm a Blissey. And he talked a shit ton of stuff about TCG, competitive, VGC, competitive, hardcore side of Pokemon. I never really gave a rat shit about it, but it was interesting to learn about it a little bit.
Possibly mention all of the names. They are listed in the various video descriptions of the videos you've watched over the years, of all of the editors.
The ones that are really good at math and trigonometry and calculus. I sucked ass at those things back when I was in high school and college, but those dudes that are really, really good and competitive, like Smogon and all that shit, hats off to them. I could never do that in my entire life. That is way too hard as fuck for me. I just play the game for either completing the Pokemon decks, getting shinies, or sometimes completing the main story. I never did it for competitive. That would have drained me out and made me unalive myself badly.
GFX artists, filmographers, and just general Pokemon artists, Fakemon artists that you've seen the works of over the years. While I can't name all, certainly I've worked the most with Eden's Things, Cot Lolish, Lou Gray, Pythagoras, who helped me out with all of Card Keeper Toby, Barra O'Connor, who helped me out with so much of Pokemon Tempest. Speaking of Pokemon Tempest, obviously Alex Allen, who has done so much of the artwork over the years
on
this channel.
All those competitive, customized freaking filmographers and freaking motion capture artists and all those freaking riggers and all that, man.
It's just been an absolute blessing to work with. Cloud Klaus, who's done so much of the music.
Oh, I forgot about that dude, man. I'm surprised he's on.
Good friend Kevin, Michael, Dean, Cupperfee, who's done artwork for me as well, including the Tree of Evolutionary Life, and all my friends and family who have given me sage advice over the years. All of it's gone into the channel, and of course a huge thank you to Ruin Maniac Files, who is not only one of the YouTubers that I love here on the platform.
I think he was from Portugal, Brazil, or like Costa Rica, because he spoke Spanish really, really good. I could barely understand what he was saying half the time because his English was real broken, real bad. But his shit was really, really good. Freaking Ruin Maniac Files, dude. Go sub to that dude. Not sponsored, not telling him to go subscribe to him, but he did some bomb-ass Pokemon lore content and fake conspiracy shit.
But who has also been editing this video. Ruin.
Beautiful freaking content, the way he broke the Pokemon world analysis. I forgot about Ruin Maniac Files. What a cool freaking G. Cool dude when it comes to Pokemon YouTuber shit.
And to anyone I didn't mention, no, I am so incredibly grateful, just a little bit forgetful. And there's so many wonderful people that I've tried to collaborate with over the last year or so to really try and give them the best platform possible, but the number one person that I have to beg you, please go and support is my girlfriend, Cupperfee. A couple months ago, before I quit the channel, she just said, I want to give it a go. The YouTube thing you've been doing, I really think I've got something to offer. And she did, and she made that first video, and I was so unbelievably impressed. And every time I go past her office door and I see her working on something, I continue to be impressed. I am a fan of hers, not just in that she is my girlfriend and I want to be supportive of her, but I genuinely think her content is next level. All other Fakemon videos, oh, I forgot to mention Pokemon Tempest. How did I forget to mention Pokemon Tempest? I did a Fakemon series. But still,
remember that
it's
project
blown out
I did 2 years ago in 2022.
Of the water by what Phoebe is doing.
I cried in the last 2 freaking videos he did.
So above and beyond. They take so much time. She's making about a video a month at the moment. It would mean the world to me if to continue this YouTube story, if this wasn't a hop-off point, but instead you continued in the capable hands of Cupperfee, who is just now trying to make YouTube a career. It doesn't happen just because I'm a YouTuber. She has to work for it. But I ask you to consider giving her videos a go. I know you won't regret it, and I don't think you want to miss out on the journey she's about to go on to. In fact, I know you don't want to. She has 3 or 4 videos up at the moment. They are all absolutely exceptional quality. Consider leaving likes, comments, subscribing, and help her on her YouTube journey, and she's going to reward you with some of the best Pokemon content you've seen on YouTube. Additionally, if there are those of you who would consider going above and beyond, even my own Patreons who would want to just stop their memberships with me, obviously they're going to be on pause anyway, but move your memberships over to her and help her make it a job, that would mean the world to me. So her link is the absolute top of the description. There are a couple of events.
Looking out for his girlfriend, fiance like that. I applaud you for that, bro. Looking out for your possible future wife. Who knows?
Going to next year. I mentioned MegaCon, also Annie Manga Pop in Plymouth. I will hopefully see some of you in these places, but generally I'm going to be relatively off the internet. So if you want to keep up to date with me, follow Cupperfee, because I make the occasional odd appearance unintentionally when disturbing her while she's filming. One last time, I want to say thank you.
That's like how Aki Dearest and the anime have their little dynamic. I remember that.
Any amount of time you've ever watched or interacted with any of my videos. Without you, this didn't happen. Thank you so much.
It's coming to a close.
Maybe I'll see you again in the future here. Maybe I'll be elsewhere. Maybe I'll be Bird Keeper Toby, or maybe I won't be. I look forward to going into this new year with a complete blank slate. And just thank you for everything you've given me. Oh, I'm gonna cry! Thank you, everyone.
It's totally
fine. And of course, as always, soar high, Pokemon Masters.
One last time. I almost broke down and cried with them, man. No. That's it, bro. The legend is finished, bro. I really want to say I put all my thoughts, views, opinions, and speculations out there already, man. Mega congrats. Whatever he does is atonements in the future. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully he gets good karma, good vibes. I'm sending good vibes, good frequency, good vibrations, and good freaking, like, good positive energy towards the dude, honestly. Anyways, other than that, yeah, that's all I can say for now. Like, hopefully his girlfriend, Cupperfee, she's probably going to be a lot more for Gen Z. Because I'm not going to stay around and waste my rest of my life with my freaking, not only just with YouTube, because I think next year might be the final year I'm on here. If not this year, it's going to be next year. 2024, 2025, and that's it. You won't see this face ever again, sadly, after I'm 36. I'll be gone probably off YouTube forever, but luckily this wasn't a full-time job. This is a thing I just do on and off on the weekends, and that's it. Sometimes on the weekdays, occasionally, but best of luck to the dude Toby, man. If you end up having, like, children and great-grandchildren, they'll look back on this video, it's like, oh, my dad was the coolest dude ever, man. He was the best Pokemon fan, fanatic, and Pokemon animator, Pokemon commentator, Pokemon analysis, theorist, Poke Theories, Poke Studio freaking director, producer. Hopefully he makes it big in Hollywood one day. Maybe he might be a voice actor one day. Hopefully he gets into the voice acting video game industry. That'd be cool if he ever gets that level one day, a famous success. Hope he doesn't screw it up like Young Yi did. But that's it. That's all I guys have for now. I'm not here. Tip my hat off. Salute to him. It's not really a hat, but I'll tip this off to him. My plate. And that's it. I'm done here and I'm out. Hope he stays alive long enough to be a VTuber too as well. That's it. Peace out once again, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and fans. As always, otakus and keepers, I will see you when I see you guys a day of good night, wherever you are at in the world around there. Don't drink smoke at the same time. Don't do anything reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it collective out there. Stay tuned for future content, including anime and manga news, once in a while virtual VTuber news, celebrity gossip, actor drama news, VTuber drama news, and of course once in a while reaction view segments like this one, reaction commentaries, once in a while movie trailer reactions, and of course rarely video game industry news. And then that's it. Take it easy, peace out, my sauerkraut, lazy mice. You know, flip side, don't take any of the jabs or the poison or any of that shot stuff, and that's it. Later, I'm gone. Goodbye. Take it easy. I'm out of here.